What's up guys, it's Luke Pro, and today I am going to show you how to make a 3D top-down character looking to mouse in Godot 4. So I basically made this tutorial because I wanted to make the character for personal use, but I found out that no one has ever done a precise video for Godot 4. So let's get right into our project. First of all, create a new project. Then add a new node 3D, and let's rename it World. Then add the sun to our scene, just for better appearance. Repeat the same for the environment. Let's add a new child to our main scene, which is going to be a mesh instance 3D. Add a child node into that mesh, which is a static body 3D and a collision shape. Note that if there isn't a collision shape in the ground, the looking function won't work. Oops. Once we are done with our main scene setup, we can proceed on making our character. Save our scene. Add a new scene and add a character body 3D as a parent. Of course, we always need to add a collision shape. Now add a new mesh, just so we can form our character with a simple cylinder. Can add color to our player's mesh. And in addition, you may want to add another mesh, which will point at where you look. Lastly, we are going to need a camera so that we're going to be able to actually see what we have made. Save our scene, and since we are done with the graphics setup, let's jump into our code. So add a new script attached to our player. We can name it Player. First, we are going to add some variables. You can create those by pressing Ctrl plus dragging them into your code. Now we are going to need the origin of the ray and the end of the ray, which will both be equal to vector 3. Now we have our variables settled. Let's write our code to looking to mouse position. Firstly, we make a function and we call them look to mouse. Then we call them below move and slide function. So let me explain this code. First of all, we get the position of mouse. Then, we project a ray from our camera, and we define its start and its end. So if you Control plus click the intersect ray function, we're going to get redirected to the dictionaries of Godot, which explain really clearly what this function does. As you can see, it is right here. Let's get back at our code to write one last thing. We basically check if the intersection variable is empty. The intersection variable is, in a few words, the coordinates of where the mouse is in a 3D world. So if the ray collides with the ground, it will never be empty. We get the position of intersection, which as I mentioned is the coordinates, and we make a variable named lookAtMe, which organizes those coordinates to x, y, and z axis so as to be translated to our 3D world. Then we command our model only. Be careful not to move the entire scene because the camera will be moving too, to look at the position which we translated before as pos.x, y, and z accordingly. So let's test it out. Oh, one thing I forgot about. If you haven't run the project, it will pop you up this window. Just close it, go to our world scene, drag our player scene from down left to our node's hierarchy, and then run the project and tap Select Current. As you can see, it works perfectly fine. We could stop here, but there is a last detail that you might want to get advantage of. And that is if you want the player to only rotate y-axis. You can simply do it by adding a variable with some fixed maths by me. Don't forget to look at the new variable if you want to enable looking to y-axis only. Let's see how it looks like now. It works. That was the video, guys. I hope you found it helpful and you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like or a subscribe. It will really help me. If you experience any errors or technical problems, don't hesitate to ask me down on comments.